Well, good morning and welcome back to the Racing Trucker. Hey, it's race day. We're at Watkins Glen and we are racing today. We have a 2-hour race this afternoon. So before the race, I only have about an hour to get everything all set up in pit. The WeatherTech team that we're sharing the pit stall with has a practice session this morning. And then we have about a 1-hour break where I have to get everything set up. So this morning, we're gonna take all of our stuff and put it right next to the pit stall, get it all ready to pre-stage and have it pre-staged. And then when they vacate, we're gonna move all in there and get ready for the race. Then we'll have a 2-hour race. Then after the race, we load up and then I truck on down to Rochester where we're gonna prep the cars and get them ready for Canada. So busy day today, guys. So let's go. One thing I've never mentioned before is every morning on the way in from the hotel, we always have to stop and get ice. Got to keep the waters on ice and keep the refreshments fresh for everybody. Today's the last day here at the track, but we were running a little bit low on water, so picked up some water. And last night went to Walmart and got a few things that we were running short on. Just trying to keep everything all supplied and ready to go for today. Alrighty, coolers are all iced up, snacks are all replenished for the guys and everything. So now I gotta start worrying about pit. One thing I gotta do is refresh the nitrogen for the guns. So I'll grab a couple of bottles here and throw them on a tailor gun and pre-stage them over at pit. I can't put them inside a pit yet because the WeatherTech guys are going out, but I'll get them over there so they'll be ready to go. Okay, trying to get as much done as I can prior to load-in time into the pit. So this is all ready to go. I got fresh bottles in there for the guns. And then over here, I've got all my spares with the regulators and cages ready to go. Got my spare gun, spare wand, and the one for the fuel refilling pig. All good to go. So all we have to do when the time comes is basically take all this and slide it into there. The only thing that's gonna be time consuming is I gotta put a level on this thing, adjust those feet, and get this thing totally level, and then adjust. That should be to the right height because I had it set the other day. So hopefully that'll be all good. And hopefully within the hour we can get everything all set up. The guys will help me, so it'll go quickly. And then we'll be ready to race. Well, the guys are all done with any setups or anything like that for the car. So getting all the setup stuff, putting it on the done here. We're gonna take it over to the trailer and start loading it up. Load up day is all day today. Okay, it's getting close to the time where the WeatherTech cars are coming off track. So we'll head on over to the pit and everything's pre-staged. So as soon as they come off and they clear the pit stall, they're going to start rolling everything in. So here we go. Phew, that was a mad dash. The team all pitched in and we got it all done. So here we have the bottle for the fuel pig that restocks the fuel rig there. Got the spare gun, got the spare wand, front tire changer, his gun's ready to go. Through here, we'll have the spare wand and spare gun, so it's in the middle. Through here, rear tire changer, got the gun and the wand there. Fueler and myself as the fire extinguisher guy, we go through here to the wall. So, whew, I am tired already, and the race hasn't even started. All right, the fan walk is just ending, and all the fans are leaving, so we're getting ready to start this race. Well, we're about 1 hour into the race, and unfortunately we've had to retire the car. I'm not sure why yet, but Car's not going to participate in any more laps. So we're starting to clean up when we get out of the fire suit, and we're going to start loading up now. So I'll see if I can find out what happened and get back to you guys all on that. But in the meantime, cleanup time. Two squares. Well, that didn't go as planned. Don't know what happened yet. So basically, we were about 40 minutes into the race. We had 4 more laps of fuel left, and the car started kind of acting a little peculiar, a little funny. And at first, the engineers were thinking, did we miscalculate our fuel window? And Steve made a last-minute call to bring the car in for a pit stop 4 laps early. It happened so quickly that we all jumped over the wall and did a perfect fuel stop or pit stop. We did 4 tires, changed the driver, fueled it up. Happened so quickly that I never even got a chance to turn on the cameras. So I didn't, unfortunately, I was unable to capture that pit stop. It went perfectly. So sent the car out after that, and it still was having an issue. So I came back in. We plugged in the computer into it. They were looking at it, and the call was made that whatever it was doing, it wasn't safe to have it out there. So we retired early. So probably about, I think we retired with still a little over an hour left of the race, so we weren't even halfway through. Car was doing good though. You know, at the second lap we were in 25th, and right before we came in for that fuel stop or pit stop, we were in 20th. So we were moving up through the ranks. Everything was looking really good. You know, so the second half of the race was going to look really good. We're all looking forward to top 10 finish. You know, and something happened. Don't know what. We pushed it into the trailer, and we'll take a look at it at Rochester and figure out what's going on. So we are all loaded up. I was supposed to be, right now it is 5:51. So the original schedule said that I was supposed to be able to leave here at 6:15. At that point, they were going to be done with everything going on track, and they're going to open up the track crossing so that the semis could leave. Not sure what happened this afternoon, but the schedule got all changed. And now they're not, the last qualifying session for WeatherTech ends at 7:30. So we're not going to be able to cross the track until they clear the track of that qualifying session at 7:30 and then open it up. So it might be 7:40 or so before I get out of here. I don't know. And then it's a 2-hour trek to Rochester. So we'll go ahead and continue going on that and see how it goes. So I'll join you guys when we leave. Okay, so IMSA official just came up to my window here and advised me that the plan is to allow us to cross the track and leave here at 7:45. So about what I was thinking, 7:40 or so, 7:45. So we'll get out of here about then and hit the highway and take this thing over to Rochester. So the plan is basically get it parked at Rochester. The guys are staying a couple days. Of course, they got to work on the car and fix it, and then they got to prep it. We are heading into Canada as the next race. So they're going to get it all prepped up. They're going to spend a few days in Rochester getting it all ready, and then they'll fly home. And then they'll fly directly to Canada next month for the next race, and I'll fly back to Rochester to pick up the truck and cross the border. Talk about that a little bit more once we hit the highway. So we're almost ready to get out of here. So when we leave here, we're going to do a blindside back. So meaning when I crank the wheel here, I'm going to bring the trailer towards my passenger side to avoid hitting the garages. And when I do that, it's called a blindside because the mirrors don't cover it. I cannot see that corner of the trailer right there at all. So what we do here is all the crews have left. So just like at the beginning of the weekend is just the trucks and the truck drivers, we help each other out. We've been talking, we already have a plan. Each driver is going to help each other with the next one out, and we're just going to leapfrog like that and help each other out. So basically, when I'm ready to go, this guy here, the driver, he's going to get out and watch me and make sure that my corner doesn't hit those garages, and then so on and so on. So then when he's ready to go, this guy is going to watch him and make sure that he gets out without hitting anything. So we help each other out, and then we'll get on the highway and get over to Rochester. Alrighty, while we're waiting, I got to share a little story. So this little cobweb underneath my mirror here on the driver's side, this little spider's been living right up there in the mirror area, and every time I drive, his web gets completely destroyed by the wind. I park, he comes back out, and overnight, he rebuilds his web. He's done this like the last 3 times I've moved the truck. So I'm really curious, when we get to Rochester, the web will be destroyed. I'll fly home for a week. When I come back, I'm really curious if that web will be rebuilt again. It probably will be. This guy is just a workaholic. Amazing to see. Living in my little in my truck, in my mirror, and catching flies when we're parked at the track. Well, at 7:45, we commenced to start backing out of our spots, and we did. And everyone, we did it all in order. It went really well. And now we're lined up, and we haven't even left the paddock yet. We started at 7:45. It is now 8:06, so it's been 20 minutes, and we're stuck. The track hasn't opened the crossing yet. They're working on it, I guess, but they haven't opened the crossing yet. So all the trucks are all lined up, still waiting. So it'll be a long day. We finally got out of the track. It is now 8:30. So we started backing out of the truck spots at 7:45. We had a little traffic jam waiting for the track to open the crossing up. We got across the track, and then we hit another snafu. That was the road that we were on, all the trucks are on, intersects with the road that all the fans are coming out on to exit the track. So we had to kind of all funnel through the main exit. So that was a huge traffic jam. But 45 minutes later, we're finally on the road, headed for the interstate. Oh, well, the sun's going down, and this day is coming to a close finally, but it just keeps getting better and better. So they started off great. We had a window of 1 hour to get our pit set up, and we pre-staged everything ahead of time. During that 1 hour, the team all pitched in, and we got the pit all set up. Everything was great. Started the race. As you all know, everything was going great, and then car threw a hiccup at us. Before it did that, we came in for a hurried pit stop, and I wasn't able to capture the pit stop on camera. That was a bummer. Then the car had a hiccup, and we retired it. Then we had a extended period to wait before they'd open the track for us. So it was from the original time was 6:15. We waited till 7:45, started moving the trucks, and traffic jam. Didn't get out of the track until 8:30. So finally on the interstate and get a phone call from the team. They arrived in Rochester, and the hotel screwed up, and not all their rooms were available. So they asked me, will I sleep in the truck? Because there's no bed for me. That's no problem. I love sleeping in the truck. But I'm filthy. I worked all day long, and it was a sweaty day. So unfortunately, I'm going to get to Rochester around 10:30 at night. Somebody on the team's going to have to pick me up and bring me to their hotel room so I can shower, and then take me back to the truck so I can sleep to get up early to get to the airport. Oh, it's been a crazy day, but it's kind of normal. You have to always expect things to not go according to plan and to have alternative plans ready to go just in case. So everything's working out fine. I'll sleep in the truck, and the guys are gonna pick me up to get a shower in, so that's fine. So here's the plan moving forward. I'm flying home. I'm going to be home for about a week, a little over a week. So next Tuesday, July 7th, I'm going to fly back out to Rochester to pick up the truck, and we're going to Canada. The next race is in Canada. So I'll be dropping a video on that one. That one should be interesting because I have to cross the border. It's no normal task. You don't just show up to the border and show your passport and get across. There's a lot of paperwork involved in bringing these rigs with all the equipment across the border. And what can happen is the border guys are used to semis coming across with freight. So they're used to the paperwork involved with taxation and tariffs and everything involved with commerce going back and forth. With me, I'm a commercial vehicle, but I'm going into the country for just a few days and coming back out with the exact same amount of stuff. So I actually have to present them with an inventory of everything that's in this truck. And when I come back into the United States, the inventory has to match. It has to be everything the same. If I come through with 15 tires, I need to go back with 15 tires. So everything has to match. And so I'm going to take you guys along through the process of crossing the border. I'll keep the camera rolling when we interact with the Canadian border guard, and then when we come back with the Americans, and you can kind of see the difference between the two. It's kind of interesting. So join me for that. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and if you do hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because you don't want to miss July 7th when I drop the next video. And the way things have been going today, if I run into some snafus and the adventure getting home on the flights, I might drop another video tomorrow. Who knows, on my adventure trying to get home. In the meantime, guys, it was a pleasure to give you these videos for the latest race week for Watkins Glen. I enjoyed meeting so many of you. You guys are awesome. You make my day every time I meet somebody at the track that watches these videos. That's great. And I will see you guys hopefully July 7th, no sooner. We'll see. Thanks for watching.